Hi, my name is Julia Martinez, and this is the artifact for the SLO that focuses on literacy problems of practice. And for this SLO artifact, I will be talking about some of those literacy challenges that I see in my current classroom. So I work with 9th through 12th graders, but they are all on the autism spectrum. So even though they are in 9th through 12th grade, their reading comprehension can be that of a student who's at a kindergarten level, first grade level, even pre-K level, or like no reading comprehension skills. We know that it's something that can be built on, but overall, I would say the challenge is the reading comprehension with some latency, especially if those reading comprehension skills focus on like reading a passage and then answering some questions that have to do with the passage. We know again, like, so that's something that we can build on and we can work on either as a team or teachers put a specific goal in place. And so one of the things that we know already is that visuals are huge for our students, that even though they might not be able to read themselves or comprehend what is being read to them, a lot of times they've grown up with visuals and they can see something, say they see the picture of a frog, and they immediately know it's a type of animal, where they see this animal, stories that this frog can be related to. But if they see the word frog or hear the word frog, they might not always be able to connect it immediately. So having that visual picture of a frog allows them to have, they have that skill. And when it comes to latency, I think it's such an important thing to remember as a teacher in the classroom or assistant teacher or staff member, to give these students processing time. And that varies from student to student. Some students, even if they are on the autism spectrum, may not need that latency time, when other students might need up to 2 minutes of response time. And I just see it a lot in my classroom where one teacher or one staff member will ask something, and then you have another staff member approaching them with the same question, or that same staff member approaching them with the same question. And after a while, let's say you ask the same question within a minute, at that point, from what I've learned, the student just tends to like zone out. So it's better to give the question once, and then just wait for the student's response time. And that's just something that can be built on, or can be observed from student to student. From the references that were attached to our SLO, I chose to talk about Structural Literacy and Typical Literacy Practices by Lewis Spare Swerling. And they talked about how sometimes it's about inaccurate or non-automatic decoding. So it's usually the way that like something is presented that works best for the student. So like I said, words might not be something that they can recognize, sometimes even hearing it, because some of these students are nonverbal, but seeing those visuals, that's usually what helps them understand what they're reading. And we can always pair those to have actual visual of like we're back to the frog example, but then have the word frog at the bottom, and it just becomes like a recognition type thing. The other reference that I chose was Moments of Stillness, Creating Time to Solve Problems of Practice by Celeste Bates and Denise Morgan. And I know that this was a reference directed at teachers and what they can do as they're teaching. But I feel like, and it's talking about adding that time for the teacher themselves, but I feel like adding time and patience and those moments of stillness overall in the classroom and in what we're teaching and when we're teaching helps students to kind of pick up on that environment and not feel like everything is rushed, and give them the processing time that they need, no matter how that varies from student to student. Thank you.